everyone. This is Jim. Today's episode, we are going to tackle the Pewter City Gym. We're going to level up our Pokemon, not in that order necessarily, and that'll probably be it after this episode. It's going to take us a little bit of time to level up the Pokemon, but if we got a little extra time and move through it a little bit quicker than I'm anticipating, then we'll check out some of the trainers on the way into Mount Moon. So, just to pick up where we left off, still got our original crew here from prior to hitting up the forest. We caught a few Pokemon on the way. One of them are going to come in handy here for us. What's going to happen here is the Pokemon that we're going to encounter at this gym, they're all going to be rock Pokemon. Nothing we have here is strong against rock, but we do have one secret weapon yet to be developed. As you recall, I kind of made a little bit of an oopsie when I said that both the Nidorans would learn an attack that would be strong against the rock Pokemon. I got confused. I play the red and blue and gold and silver versions a bit. Gold and silver more often than red and blue, and so when I did that, I was thinking of those, right? And in those versions, double kick, which is the move I was referring to, comes much earlier than it does in the original versions. Double kick for these two come as like their very last moves. So, but again, if you do things the hardest way possible, which is the exact way I did, then that means that you chose Charmander as your starter. Charmander, he's not weak against rock, but he's definitely not strong against him. So he needs something different to be able to get us there. The birds that we caught, they're going to be no use. Nidoran, male and female, they're not that big a help here. So the other option here is Caterpie. And you might ask, okay, what good is a bug Pokemon going to be against these rock Pokemon? And surprisingly, actually, once you get Caterpie to level 10, level him up to a Butterfree, get him to his final evolution, Caterpie is going to learn a psychic move, Confusion, which will definitely do the trick in whittling down those rock Pokemon health. So pretty much all we're going to do is we're going to level Caterpie up to level 10 and to where he's going to learn Confusion, and then we're going to turn around and go back to the gym. It's that simple. It's actually very, very easy. And all we need to do is come right here and we'll just walk around here. We're going to run into Pokemon. We're going to repeat the same strategy that we did earlier before going into the forest. And we're essentially just going to put them in and then let someone else jump in and get the experience that we're going to need to be able to get him to level up. Now, the Nidorans, we're only going to get them so far until we're going to need to dump them off until we get some Moonstones. So for our purposes here, we'll get them to level 16. Level 16 is when they will evolve into their second forms, and then and get them there. So Nidorans, they're not going to be a whole lot of great uses for us. The poison type Pokemon, it's essentially the weakest type in the game. There's nothing really special about them. They're not really strong against much of anything, and they're extremely weak against the game's strongest Pokemon, which are psychic. So might as well just level them up, use them for the Pokedex, get them out the rotation. Nidoking and Nidoqueen, however, can be useful at high levels. At high levels, they tend to be able to learn a lot of different TMs or training machines that give them the ability to learn some off-type moves and make use of their good scores. Again, the fact that they're poison is not something really working for them at all. However, their flexibility at those high levels, at that third evolution, does give them a certain good level of utility, which is why you'll see them being used by some late game trainers that are in the game here, people that we'll run into. So there is some use to them, but not at this level. So I'm gonna go silent here, and you'll just see me walk around and level up Caterpie, get him to Metapod, then to Butterfree. As soon as he's able to start handling fights on his own, we'll do that. That's going to be the most efficient way to level him up. But we'll do that, and yeah, once he's ready to go ahead and take on those rock Pokemon after learning Confusion as Butterfree, then we'll get ready to take him on. So. Okay, so now that we got Caterpie to level 7, it'll evolve into its second form. Caterpie and Weedle are the Pokemon that will evolve most early. They reach their final form by level 10. There's no other Pokemon in the game that gets there that quickly. So now that he's evolved, we're going to take him back, heal him, and try our hand again, because once they evolve, their stats get a little bit better. Still not much. Pretty much the defense goes up. That's the really only significant boost to the Pokemon, but that alone should buy us a little bit of time and allow us to stick in those fights a little bit longer. And the more fights that we can win with Metapod now on his own, without getting help from other Pokemon, the better. Quicker he'll be able to level up himself. So take that quick opportunity, heal him up, get back at it. So at this point in the game, just want to point out a decision I made to kind of, in which the way I prefer to go. So I'm obviously spending a lot of time in this grass down here to level up my Pokemon. There are ups and downs to doing what I'm doing here versus our other option. Other option being that I can go east and head toward Mount Moon. And there's a bunch of trainers there, and as well as a patch of grass that gets me some slightly higher level Pokemon where I could go. In order to get to that patch of grass, I have to beat those trainers. Now, I'm waiting for those trainers. I'm going to wait to go to them after I've gotten through the gym. The reason being is because once you go into Mount Moon, you're going to want to stock up on some potions and stuff like that, more Pokeballs to capture the Pokemon that you're going to encounter there, be able to heal up from the trainers that you're going to run into there. So all those things kind of come together, and I think where it makes more sense to wait for the money that you're going to get from those battles, as well as the experience that you'll be able to get for the Pokemon that you're going to want to hang on to in more of a long-term basis. Perfect example is that, like, Nidoran, male and female, we're not going to hang on to them long-term basis. We may even start ditching them before we go to Mount Moon in favor of leveling up other Pokemon like Pikachu, for example. So I spend my time here in the grass, and it is much more of a time investment because the experience from a wild Pokemon is a bit lower than from a trainer Pokemon. And there's also no money, but I don't really need the money right now. I can level it up for free and just make frequent stops back to the Poke Center. It's no big deal. I'd rather save those trainers to be able to level up the Pokemon that I intend to stick with a little bit more quickly, as well as get that money that I need. So we'll go through those trainers, head back to the Poke Center, heal up, and then go to the Pokemart and stock up on some supplies before heading into Mount Moon. Because you're going to run into some, like I said, plenty of trainer battles, lots of wild Pokemon. Depending on where you're at, it might be worth it to run back and heal again before going back through. Hit some of the trainers up, get them out the way, come back, heal, go back through again, just to make sure that you get to the other end without much issue. It's just the way I prefer to do it. There's not really a right or wrong way, but I've played these games many times, and I've built what I feel is a pretty good winning strategy for doing this game well and staying consistently on top. So, but to each his own. If you feel like another way is better, then by all means, have at it. And now that Metapod's leveled up to level 8 here, we're going to go back and heal again. Again, he's a bit stronger than he was at level 7, so give him an opportunity to get that chance to win his battles on his own. That's going to make things faster than us. Of course, if you wanted to just run back to the Poke Center anytime he's too weak to handle a full battle on his own, you can do that. There's a lot more time invested in that. Just a lot of walking. To the point where I feel like we can kind of kill two birds with one stone and level up some of the Pokemon we don't intend to stick with, like the Nidorans in my case, and just stick with them, work with them, level them up, get them out the way at the same time. Again, it takes a little bit longer, really long term to do that, but I think it's worth the time investment. Which, that being said, I hope you are taking the opportunity to walk around, walk outside if weather permits, bike on a stationary, maybe in your house, or on a or walk on a treadmill somewhere, or even just walking around in your own home while you're doing this. Again, you want to be mindful of your health. If you're going to spend hours and hours and hours playing a game like I'm doing now, then it might be worth it just to do something small to keep yourself a little healthy. I don't really have that opportunity here since I'm recording. I need the camera and everything to stay pretty stationary while we do this, but you don't have that same hindrance. You can walk around, you can afford to do something like that, keep yourself healthy, take care of yourself, so you can play games for many more years to come, right? So what I keep doing is I'm checking the amount of experience that my Pokemon need to level up to judge, you know, is it worth a trip back to the Poke Center? Is it worth just rotating a Pokemon in for 1 or 2 more battles? Or do I have enough left that I need to just go and heal and come back and keep going? You know, what's the most efficient way to do this? Sure, we just want to get Metapod to level 10, evolve it to Butterfree, get it to learn Confusion, and then from there, we're ready to go ahead and take on Brock at the Rock-type gym. So we're pretty much there. Might have to visit the Poke Center once here, and then come back, finish it up. Poke Center one more time after that should be, and then we should be done. Should be able to get Metapod to that magic threshold. Probably got one more fight in us here before we gotta go heal. But that should bring us definitely within earshot of being able to take on or be able to get to Metapod to that next level. And with 7 health, I'm way too low, I think, to confidently try a level 5 Pidgey. That Gust can sometimes be a 7-point damage at a critical hit, so I'd rather just not risk it. Throw in another Pokemon like Nidoran. And since Nidoran's so close to leveling up as well, you know, don't be surprised if you see me keep her in for maybe a battle or 2 on her own to get her to that next spot. We're almost there. Be worth it just to get that extra level out. So what Nidoran will be able to do is, if on the off chance, we're primarily going to use Butterfree and Charmander for these. And we'll definitely be healing between the initial trainer and the gym owner, gym leader, I should say. We'll definitely be healing in between there, but we're primarily using Butterfree and Charmander, and then if we need somebody else, that's where the other 4 Pokemon are going to come in. They're not going to be too effective, but 4 Pokemon, all doing their little bit to whittle away at the health of those Rock-type Pokemon. Eventually that'll take a toll, and we'll be able to knock them out. You just want a couple decent Pokemon to get in there and use attacks that are not going to be weak against these rock Pokemon, or types that aren't going to be weak against the rock Pokemon, and you should do okay. So we're going to heal up, run right back down there. We should just have a couple more fights here, and we'll confirm that here by checking our stats on Metapod real quick. Probably 2-3 battles max, and we'll get our Butterfree. Yeah. Maybe 4 if we run into low-level Pokemon. Does that do it for us? Yes, it does. There we go. If you want to stop a Pokemon from evolving, all you got to do is hit that letter B. For whatever reason, if you want to stop them from evolving, doing that will cancel the evolution process. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think yep, okay, so we gotta level up Butterfree a little bit more. I guess I was mistaken. I thought Butterfree learned Confusion right on leveling up to that Butterfree step, but looks like we're gonna learn that at level 12. So sorry for that, guys. So a couple more levels here, and then we'll be able to take on Brock. But again, once we get to Butterfree, stats go up a little bit further now, even more. So should be able to handle these guys on their own. Probably should be, I would imagine, be able to level up without assistance at least once before hitting a Poke Gym, or sorry, a Poke Center. And then from there, get that confusion in and then go ahead. My confusion here was that in the yellow version, Butterfree learns confusion at level 10. That's where I got a little mixed up here. And I believe that's also the same in Gold and Silver. So forgive my my confusions between the versions. They did make some adjustments, which I think were largely beneficial for just about every Pokemon as they converted from Red and Blue to Gold and Silver. So you may hear those things. I'll try to keep a cap on that as much as possible. It's definitely not my intention to just be rattling off unverified information, especially if this is the first time you're playing through this game, or if you're trying to maybe just do it better. You really love the game, you're playing through it again, and you want to do maybe get some input from someone else who loves the game and plays it to see if you can step your game up at all. So my goal here is definitely going to be to try to give you the most accurate information every time, but I will do my best that when I do inevitably slip up and say something wrong, I will try to make sure I correct that, if not in the same episode verbally, then like you saw in one of the previous episodes, I'll add some notes, some graphics that help to clarify the situation, so that way you're not walking away with some grave misunderstanding about some aspect of the game, whether it major or minor. So we're just going to spend the next few minutes here just leveling up Butterfree. Very simple, just hitting some tackles until we get it to level 11, go back, heal, come back again, get it to 12. Once it's at 12, we will attack that gym, and especially at level 12, Butterfree will be more than enough of a match for anything else that's in that gym that you're going to encounter. We'll have plenty of experience and stats to be able to rival what's going to be Onix and Geodude, our Brock's main two Pokemon. And then we've got another trainer prior to him that we'll be able to take out. Shouldn't be too hard. So we'll get to him when we get there. So just sit back and enjoy, and yeah, we'll get Butterfree to that level 12 confusion level and go and get that Boulder Badge. Okay, so we've got hopefully 3 to 4 max, hopefully, Pokemon that we need to take care of before Butterfree hits level 12. At this point, you'll see in a lot of fast forwarding to speed things up for your sake, to try and keep this episode between 20-30 minutes, which is what I'm going to always try to do, is keep them on the shorter end of things, so that way you just see step by step what you need to do to get from one stage of the game to the next. But I've spent over an hour at this point running back and forth here, so just so you guys have a decent expectation of how long this takes. It's not easy. It takes a lot of patience. There has been plenty of times where, like, you know what, let me just put this down, come back tomorrow or another day. But getting closer you get, the closer you just be like, you know what, let me just finish this up. And that's always going to be the temptation too as you play. You might get bored of one aspect like this. This is a necessary piece. You want to beat this gym, you need an edge, or else it's going to be a very painful gym battle, an expensive one, because you'll be using potions and hoping that your Pokemon are able to knock down those rock Pokemon, even though they're going to be essentially strong against any attack currently, not counting your starter. And again, this is the most painful way to do this. This is choosing Charmander, who's not going to be strong against these rock Pokemon, whereas if you chose Bulbasaur or Squirtle, at this point they'll have learned a type-specific move, Bubble or Vine Whip, I believe. And those moves will just wipe out these rock Pokemon in 2 moves max, almost no matter what level your starter is at. So you would breeze right through them. But again, not so with a fire Pokemon. Again, fire is not going to be weak against them. Your attacks will be relatively effective, but they're not going to be super effective like you would want. So here we go, got our level 12 Butterfree, got Confusion. So we're going to go back and heal one more time, and then we'll head into that gym and take on these, the initial trainer and then the gym leader, which with Confusion now under our belt, shouldn't be much of an issue at all. And then if you need to do something to kind of waste up space, heal up either Butterfree or Charmander, then you can easily use your other Pokemon in your party to do that, and that's what they're there for. And again, on the off chance that things just went poorly for you, you lost your other 2 Pokemon just on the final one, because Lord help you if you need more than your original 2 to beat this guy. You'll get in there. Those guys will be the last little bit you need to kind of knock Onix or Geodude out. Diglett. Level 12. No joke, honestly, at this point. But again, starting out with Confusion, you should be in pretty good shape. Diglett is fast. You wouldn't think that a ground-type Pokemon would be that fast, but Diglett and its evolved form Dugtrio are among the fastest Pokemon in the game. Again, kind of strange to think about that, but it's definitely very true. And especially given the level difference, you're about to notice a huge bump in where we go from here. 190 experience points just for one Pokemon. So Sandshrews coming out. So yeah, we'll switch it out. We'll put Charmander in. Let him knock out this one. Get a little bump himself. Go heal. Come back for Brock. And again, you get a feel for... Now, that fire type move is going to be just a little less effective against Onix and Geodude, which are Brock's 2 Pokemon. But it'll be relatively same. This is about how this battle will go. It'll be pretty even, back and forth between Charmander and a rock Pokemon. The rock will probably do about as much damage as Sandshrews doing here, maybe a little bit more. Charmander's going to do a little bit less, so with a potion, you should be able to use Charmander to knock them out. Yeah, darn is right. Okay, so now we're going to go back and heal. Why would you keep going? With both your Pokemon under about half health, it makes 0 sense whatsoever to just move forward into the next battle. Come back here, take the 30 seconds it's going to take to heal up your Pokemon and get back at it. If for whatever reason you did not spend the time leveling up as much, or you're just afraid that the game's going to go badly, check your potions, make sure you got a few. The only thing you'll need here at this point, if you've got something close to what I've got, again, doing things the hardest way possible, then the worst thing you'll need is a potion or two to be able to level the playing field when he whittles your health down a little bit. So, time for Brock. All right. He's doing that Wakanda Forever symbol way before his time. You saw it here first, Pokemon Red version. You hit him up with the confusion, and you get an idea of how effective that is against a rock Pokemon. You know, you're not talking about major movement, but it's going to be far more effective than trying to attack him with Pidgey or Rattata or one of your Nidorans. You know, it would take both of them just doing everything they could and a lot of attacks to get him down. So what we'll do here is we're going to leave Butterfree in. Nope. What's likely going to happen here is Onix is going to knock Butterfree out, and that's okay. Butterfree's just going to get in here, take a chunk out of his HP, and then whatever Onix has left, then Charmander will finish him off. And if Brock's not smart and doesn't start attacking here, Butterfree's going to knock him out. And he will. There you go. Butterfree took him out on his own. Super simple. Level 13. Boom. And what's going to happen here is Butterfree's going to learn some new moves here coming up soon in the middle teen moves, or levels rather, I should say. Awesome. Badge number 1. So Flash is an HM, a move that you need to be able to get through some of the caves that are dark. TM34. Good stuff to know. You can use the TM one time and then it's done. Bide is an absolutely useless move in my opinion. And you saw how effective it was there, to the point where it just sucked up my damage and it was getting ready to hit me back. Sure, but in a close battle like this, that was not a good call. Where if he just used Tackle or Rock Throw or whatever Onix knows at that level, in this show, you'll never know. But if he just used those moves, it would have been a pretty short story. So, now, so we are finished here. What I am going to do next time is I'm going to spend a little time and I am going to go ahead and trade over our other 2 starters that we didn't get an opportunity to get. And this is where having both versions of the game, 2 Game Boys, and that connector cord that I showed you in the first episode, that's where this is going to come into play. Again, our goal here is to catch everything. You cannot catch everything in just one version. You need to have kind of a guinea pig version that you're using just for the purposes of getting over the Pokemon that you need to be able to fill up your Pokédex on one version or another. And the version we're going to do that here is red. So what I'm going to do here next, before we move on to the next gym, or the next stage over here, which is going to be heading west over here east, to the right, as Beyonce would say, right? Before we head this way into Mount Moon, I am going to show you what's involved in getting, in our case, Bulbasaur and Squirtle over onto this game, so that way we can have a well-balanced team moving forward. So that's all for today. Again, at this point, we have spent just under an hour and a half getting all this stuff done. So just so you have an idea of what kind of time was invested to get me here, you see the total amount of time that's been invested so far in the game. We're at over 4 hours. And before we head out of here, and after we get those other Pokemon, those other starters, we're gonna have a few other things that we'll need to do. Very simple, nothing major. There's nothing worth exploring here at this point yet, not until we learn HM1, which is cut. So we'll get there when we get there. I hope you guys have a great day. Please comment on the video, like it, share it with your friends, and definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode, and you can follow us along on our journey to 151 Pokemon. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great one. Take care.